Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey have prepared a draft defence agreement after months of talks. Minister for Defence Production Raza Hayat Haraj said the draft has been shared by all three countries but still needs final consensus. Turkey's foreign minister confirmed discussions are underway, adding no agreement has yet been signed. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has urged US President Donald Trump to postpone any American military strike on Iran. A senior US official said Netanyahu made the request during a phone call with Trump. At the same time, key US partners, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Oman and Egypt, have been urging Washington not to attack Iran. Officials from these countries warned that a US strike could ignite a wider regional conflict. On the other hand, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has given her Nobel Peace Prize medal to US President Donald Trump during a White House meeting, in a bid to influence his efforts to shape her country's political future. A White House official confirmed that Trump intends to keep the medal. Machado, who described the meeting as excellent, said the gift was in recognition of what she called his commitment to the freedom of the Venezuelan people. Moreover, Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy military forces in Minnesota after days of angry protests over a surge in immigration agents on the streets of Minneapolis. Trump's latest threat came a few hours after an immigration officer shot a Venezuelan man who the government said was fleeing after agents tried to stop his vehicle in Minneapolis. The man was wounded in the leg. US President Donald Trump has reiterated that the US needs Greenland and that Denmark cannot be relied upon to protect the island, even as he said that something will work out with respect to the future governance of the Danish overseas territory. The remarks, which came after a high-stakes meeting between US, Danish and Greenlandic officials, indicate that there are still fundamental, if not intractable, differences between how Washington, Copenhagen and Nuuk see the political future of the island. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron says French soldiers are already deployed in Greenland, with more forces to follow. Speaking to the armed forces, Macron said reinforcements would arrive by land, air and sea. On the other hand, Poland said it would not send troops. Prime Minister Donald Tusk warned that any attack by one NATO country on another would be, in his words, the end of the world as we know it. The United States has seized another Venezuela-linked oil tanker in the Caribbean, ahead of a scheduled meeting between President Donald Trump and Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. US forces apprehended the motor tanker Veronica in a pre-dawn operation, saying it was operating in defiance of Trump's quarantine on sanctioned vessels. The seizure marks the sixth such vessel intercepted in recent weeks, part of Washington's push to enforce sanctions on Venezuelan oil shipments. Russia says any Western troops deployed to Ukraine under a future peace deal would be considered legitimate targets. The Foreign Ministry said such deployments are unacceptable to Moscow, with spokeswoman Maria Zakharova accusing Britain of pushing the idea in draft proposals to undermine the peace process. Criticizing the so-called Nightfall project, she said Britain's plan to help Ukraine develop a new ballistic missile is not a step toward peace. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.